with whitening. These are the vacuums. You guys will see them all over in the corner. They're all exactly the same. Once you guys get them, you'll be able to see, because they are uniform, there's a little box in the inside of it. That is where you're going to actually place your model when you're placing your model inside of here to use this vacuum. So the other components of it are this little tray. This lever right in the front opens it. You just put it down just to close it. These in the back, so if you ever played like the Bop It game, that's how the handles in the back go. So one goes one way, one goes the other, and it slides up and down, and then you tighten it. But loosely tighten it so that when you have to untighten it, you're not struggling. There's a little lever here on the front, and when you look here, right in the front where the lever is, there are two indicators. One looks like a blow dryer. That is the vacuum. So I'll let you hear it, because we just gotta hear it to get it over with. And when you press it, that's pressing it to the right. When you press it to the left, you'll see there's like a little triangle there, and that indicates the heat. And when that happens, there's a light here that will turn on, so you'll be able to see the light there. Once you actually turn the heat on, you're not gonna touch any of this stuff. So, first thing I'm gonna do is I'll move this just so you guys can see. Take my whitening material. You'll feel the sides are different. So one of it feels really smooth and the other one is not as smooth. Smooth side is going to go up. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna place it inside of here and make sure that it's even on all sides, because if it's uneven, when it heats up, sometimes it droops and you can't use your material. So I'll place this in here. Again, I'm gonna raise this up and gently tighten it. So from there, when you're placing your model inside of the vacuum, I know it sounds silly, but teeth always go up. We've had students that put it this way, and then you can't make a tray. So teeth always go up inside of my little box. Now I'm gonna turn it on. So to the left, heat. Once you do this step, you do not walk away. Don't get distracted, because it literally goes from being completely cooled to heating very, very, very quickly. And so you don't want it to heat and you not be here to be able to make your tray. So from here, you'll continue just to watch. The beginning is obviously a slower process, it's heating. And so after about a minute, you can start peaking, and what you're gonna look for is a drooping. It'll be like a bubble that is made when the material is heated. At first, when you watch, when it starts to heat up, sometimes you get this ripple effect, and after the ripple effect, it's very quick from that ripple effect down to that drooping bubble. But it's literally just standing here. Most students are just afraid of turning the vacuum on, but once you do it one time, that's the end of it. And then also, when we move this around, it's a series of steps, and so I'll kind of walk through the steps of how you turn the vacuum on, turn the heat off, and then you're gonna actually slam this down. That's all one smooth step. So as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's starting to ripple up top, because the material starts to like pull up, and then it will droop down.
Please note she is not wearing gloves. You are to not wear gloves during this procedure, okay? We don't want it to melt to your skin, okay? So this is a no glove procedure.
And so I don't know if you guys can still see. When you guys get to your own unit, you'll be able to visualize these things I'm talking about clearly. But this is fun. This is like very cathartic. Students really love. You guys will feel like you're like in your artistry when you're doing this. No, truly, like students love this part. Maybe not the vacuum itself, but the actual fabrication of the whitening trays. Okay, so now if you guys look, see, it's starting to droop down. We're looking for a certain point. It's about a third of the way between the model and this tray here. Again, now this is all really hot, so I'm not gonna touch anything, because if you droop too much, it thins out the material and the consistency isn't that great. And if not, so this is where I'm gonna do it, then it's actually too thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn the vacuum on. And you keep it here for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. scrunching your head, use the cloth. Again, this is all very hot. So you also want to make sure that your working area behind is clear and void of any materials, because when you swing this around, you don't want anything there because it's still hot. You can still feel heat down here. So now I'm going to open this up here and refrain from initially touching the model itself because you can get fingerprints on it because the material is still warm, so it's malleable. So this is not hot, so you don't have to worry about that. But I always pull from the sides because we're going to trim all this away eventually. And there you go. And now from here, I'll set it down because I can still feel that it's cool. Again, I don't want to put my fingerprints on it. We also have inside of this labeled cabinet, it says tooth whitening supplies, everything that you are going to need. We have scissors in there. There's specific scissors to trim because what we're going to do is called scalloping the margins here. We also have larger, thicker scissors that it's all about your preference. We do have cauterizers. I used to love them. These ones are kind of old, and so aesthetically, they don't actually make for delivery your whitening tray look too pretty because it can burn the margins because they're old, and so they have a lot of old residual plastic material on it. But from here, now it feels cool. If you guys want, you'll be able to feel it. Yep, you can pass it around, and then I'll get scissors.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to stop it and I can put them together.